White mushrooms are one of the most cultivated mushrooms in the world. In addition to providing few calories, they also bring many health benefits, helping to prevent cardiovascular diseases and cancer. Every year, 400 million mushrooms are harvested at one of the largest mushroom farms in the world. They are grown in compost, made from a highly secret amount of chicken manure, and they double in size every 24 hours. But how are 400 million mushrooms processed? Discover the fascinating world behind the mushrooms we enjoy in our meals. Let's explore this with BGI Factory through today's video. Mushrooms were first cultivated in 600 AD. From the 18th century onwards, large-scale cultivation of this edible mushroom began, and in the meantime, it has become one of the world's most consumed vegetables. Those irresistible mushrooms have conquered the taste of mankind since time immemorial. It was not until the middle of the last century that this mushroom began to be used in our dishes, and it did so with such. Although it seems unbelievable, the small city has an annual production of nearly 400 million kilograms of mushrooms. Farmers grow and harvest nearly 400 million mushrooms each year in this small Pennsylvania city, the most famous city for mushrooms, a small corner of America, the mushroom capital of the world. Around this tiny city of just 6,000 people, more than 60 mushroom farms have sprung up, all of which produce more than half of all mushrooms in the United States, one of the largest mushroom harvests. 500,000 kilograms of mushrooms per week. The first thing starts with preparing the substrate, which is the material for the fungus to grow on. Generally, the substrate consists of mixtures of a compost, straw, manure, and other organic ingredients. Then the substrate is made from this mixture. They produce 140,000 tons a year of a very special compost. Fungi grow in the compost, and the preparation of that compost is a science. The substrate is a mixture of rice straw and a final fertilizer. A good organic fertilizer needs more or less 2% nitrogen. That's why farmers add nitrogen, chicken manure. They also add gypsum, a mineral that improves the structure of the compost and neutralizes its acids after mixing raw materials. Water is added to moisten the soil. Now, we have to turn them into compost in a stinky and smoking silo. This starts a chemical and biological activity. Through this biochemical process, energy is released and the temperature of the stew increased to 80 degrees Celsius. Ammonia and microorganisms that grow and reproduce release heat to speed up the composting process over 2 weeks. Hot air sent into the tanks reached a temperature of 82 degrees. Oxygen, heat, and humidity create a foul haven for bacteria to work to decompose the steamed mixture afterward. The substrate will then be mixed well with the mushroom cells and packed into rectangular molds and taken to the farm for planting. Here, the soil will be put through a machine to flatten the soil. The substrate is placed in an incubation room under controlled temperature and humidity conditions, during which the period mycelium will grow and colonize the substrate, forming a network of white filaments called mycelium on the scale support industry. Mushrooms grown indoors control the environment. Everything happens on vertical shelves. Since fungi are not capable of producing chlorophyll on their own, the necessary condition for their growth is a specially prepared organic medium. In addition, it is important to maintain a stable climate favorable to mushrooms. On the farms, it allows maintaining temperatures favorable for mushrooms all year round, regardless of the season. Each room holds 96 tons of compost and acts as a spa for spores. After a few weeks, the small mushrooms begin to grow their first mushrooms. Mushrooms appear just a week after sowing. They grow rapidly, doubling in size every 24 hours as development continues. They expand and have the typical shape of a mushroom with a cap and stem. This occurs in relative darkness, along with the growing process. An appropriate temperature and humidity must be maintained to promote optimal fungal growth. Additionally, regular inspections are performed to identify and eliminate unwanted fungi. After 2 weeks, when the mushrooms have reached the appropriate size and maturity, they are ready to harvest. Automatic harvesters carefully harvest mushrooms at high speed, cutting them from the base of the stem to avoid damaging the mushroom. Harvesters must be careful not to remove the roots if they are still intact. Harvested mushrooms are transferred to a conveyor belt to separate from waste and inedible parts. Mushrooms that do not meet quality standards or are damaged are separated and discarded after grading. Mushrooms are thoroughly washed to remove any dirt, soil, or compost residue that may be stuck to them. The surface of the mushrooms on the packaging line is weighed and put into boxes with the tip facing up to make canned mushrooms. After cutting the slices, they are placed inside previously sterilized boxes, adding coating liquid to the mushrooms to ensure they are completely covered. The coating is a mixture of water and salt. When the box is full of mushrooms and coating liquid, the cans are tightly sealed. Sealing is done using a machine that has a metal lid for each can and closes them tightly to prevent air and contaminants from entering. Sealing is an important step to ensure proper preservation of canned products after sealing the can, which undergoes a sterilization process to ensure that the fungus and the covering liquid are free of microorganisms that can cause spoilage. Sterilization also helps extend the shelf life of canned products. Many people love mushrooms because of the outstanding flavor of this food. Besides, the nutritional value of mushrooms is something that many people are interested in. Some benefits of eating mushrooms include preventing aging, enhanced brain health, and improving mood. The ergothioneine in mushrooms helps reduce stress, thereby reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety, improving cardiovascular health, and helping improve bone and joint health. Thank you for watching today's video until the end. What have you learned from this video? Please leave a comment below to let us know. Now, goodbye, and see you again in the next video.